Why is it that so many men over 60 wake up tired, drained, and already behind, even after what seems like a full night's sleep? I've asked that question countless times, because the answer is not simply age. The truth is, those first 30 minutes after waking are far more powerful than most men realize. Skip them, ignore them, or fill them with the wrong thing, and your brain and heart lose their golden chance to recharge. Imagine your brain as a finely tuned engine. Every morning, it sits waiting for fuel. Not just any fuel, but the right kind, the kind that sparks ignition, warms the system, and keeps you moving smoothly. If you miss that window, the engine sputters. You might still make it through the day, but with less power, less focus, and more risk that something breaks down along the way. And here's the shock that most men don't know: it isn't about what you eat at lunch, or even at dinner. The greatest impact on your energy, your memory, and even your risk of stroke begins in that first half hour of the morning. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the simplest food you can eat within 30 minutes of waking, one change that restores your energy, sharpens your memory, and helps protect your blood vessels as the years add up. But before I reveal that fuel, let me tell you why I care so deeply about this moment in your day. My name is Dr. Katherine Rocker. For over 30 years, I've walked alongside men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've listened to their frustrations, their fears, and their quiet victories. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the same line across my office: "Doc, I don't understand it. I go to bed, I sleep, but when I wake up, I still feel exhausted." Sometimes it comes with a shrug, as if it's just part of getting old. Other times, it comes with worry in their eyes, because deep down, they know something isn't right. Here's the truth: you don't need another lecture. You've lived long enough to know the basics. What you need is someone who actually understands the battles men over 60 face: fatigue that robs your mornings, the brain fog that makes you second-guess yourself, the heart that doesn't feel as steady as it once did. I'm not here to scold you, and I'm not here to weigh you down with complicated science. I'm here as a companion. A guide. A friend who has seen thousands of men just like you, and who knows that the smallest, smartest change at the right time can transform your day. And here's the part that might surprise you: it all starts with what happens in those very first minutes after you open your eyes. Not an hour later, not after your morning news, but right there, when your brain and heart are begging you for the right fuel. That's where our journey begins. Let me take you into the life of Lawrence, a 67-year-old man from California. Every morning, like clockwork, he would roll out of bed, head straight to the kitchen, and pour himself a strong cup of black coffee. No food, no water, just coffee. He thought it was the secret to waking up sharp. But within minutes, Lawrence often felt lightheaded. Sometimes he had to grab the counter to steady himself. He told me, "Doc, it's like my body forgets how to start the day, but once I push through, I'm fine." What Lawrence didn't realize, and what so many men miss, is that the morning is a hidden crossroads. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body has been fasting. Your blood sugar is low. Your blood pressure may dip. Your brain, the hungriest organ in your body, wakes up desperate for a steady supply of energy. Instead, Lawrence was giving his system a jolt. Coffee on an empty stomach doesn't feed the brain. It spikes cortisol, the stress hormone. It makes the heart race when it should be finding its rhythm. It creates a surge without a foundation, like flooring the gas pedal in a car with no fuel in the tank. Here's a number that often shocks my patients. Even a 1% drop in blood glucose can reduce your brain's ability to focus by up to 10%. Imagine trying to start your day with a brain running at 90%, or worse. That's what happens when you skip that morning fuel. So here's my question for you: how did you start your morning today? Did you drink water? Did you eat something light? Or did you, like Lawrence, reach straight for coffee and hope it would carry you through? Because what you choose in those first 30 minutes sets the rhythm for your brain, your heart, and your energy for the rest of the day. So what should replace that lonely cup of coffee? What's the golden fuel your brain is begging for in those first 30 minutes? The answer is simpler than most men think. Your brain doesn't need a feast. It doesn't need a heavy plate of bacon and eggs that leaves you sluggish. What it needs is a balance, slow-burning carbohydrates, a touch of protein, and minerals to wake up the neurons and stabilize your blood flow. Think of it as kindling for a fire. If you throw on a log too heavy, the flame smothers. If you add only paper, it burns out too fast. But with the right kindling, the fire catches, and it burns steady. That's exactly what your brain is asking for. Let me give you 3 examples that work wonders for men over 60. A small bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries. The oats provide steady energy, while the berries add antioxidants that protect your brain cells. A serving of Greek yogurt with a handful of walnuts. The protein and omega-3s fuel your neurons, while the yogurt supports your gut, which is deeply linked to brain health. A banana with a spoon of peanut butter. Quick natural sugars from the banana, balanced by healthy fats and protein from the peanut butter, give your brain a smooth lift without the crash. Each of these choices is light. They don't weigh you down. They don't take an hour to prepare. They simply slip into your morning like a spark to the engine. And here's the key: eat them within 30 minutes of waking. That timing is what transforms them from ordinary food into medicine for your brain and heart. So tomorrow, when you open your eyes, don't let the minutes drift away. Don't let your brain sputter on empty. Feed it, gently and wisely. But here's the trap I see most men fall into, and it's why they miss this golden chance. Now, let's talk about the traps, because this is where so many men get stuck. They think they're making smart choices in the morning, but instead, those habits quietly backfire. The first myth I hear all the time is this: I skip breakfast to lose weight. On the surface, it sounds logical. Fewer meals, fewer calories. But here's the truth: when you skip that first meal, your body doesn't burn fat, it panics. Your insulin becomes unstable, your metabolism slows, and your blood vessels stiffen. Over time, the risk of stroke and heart attack rises, not falls. The second myth is even more common: coffee is enough to wake me up. Yes, coffee gives you a quick jolt. But it's a false energy. It races your heart, spikes your cortisol, and leaves your brain without the steady fuel it craves. It's like revving the engine without adding any oil. It sounds powerful for a moment, but the wear and tear builds silently. And here's the reversal most men never expect: skipping that morning fuel doesn't make you stronger. It actually accelerates brain aging. Day by day, your memory dulls, your focus slips, and your mornings become heavier. Your brain isn't asking for much. Just a few bites of the right fuel. But ignore it, and it will remind you, through fatigue, through fog, or through something far worse. So the real question is, do you want your mornings to be a slow decline, or do you want them to be the start of something sharper, steadier, and more alive? Let me show you how one man answered that question, and how his mornings completely transformed. Let me introduce you to Howard, a 71-year-old man from Texas. For years, Howard believed breakfast was optional. He'd wake up, sip a cup of coffee, and get straight to work around the house. Some days he might grab a pastry mid-morning, other days he wouldn't eat until noon. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But gradually, the changes crept in. He started forgetting small things, where he put his keys, whether he locked the door, the names of his own grandkids during family visits. He brushed it off as just getting older. When Howard came to me, he was worried but resigned. He said, "Doc, I guess my memory's slipping. Maybe this is just how it goes after 70. But I saw something different. I saw a man whose brain had been running on fumes every morning for years. So we tried something simple. I asked him to eat within 30 minutes of waking, nothing heavy, nothing complicated. Some mornings it was oatmeal with blueberries, other mornings a banana with a spoon of peanut butter. And always, a glass of water first." The change was remarkable. Within 2 weeks, Howard told me, "Doc, I don't feel that cloud anymore. I can get through my mornings without feeling like I'm dragging a weight." His family noticed too. He was sharper, more engaged, and he even remembered all his grandchildren's names at the next Sunday dinner. What Howard experienced wasn't magic, it was biology. By fueling his brain in that golden window, he gave his neurons the stability they had been starving for. His mornings shifted from fog to focus, from doubt to confidence. And here's the most important part: Howard isn't the exception. He's proof. Proof that it's never too late to reset the rhythm of your day and reclaim your mornings. And the truth is, Howard is not alone. In fact, millions of men are standing in the exact same place you are right now. Howard's story is powerful, but here's what I want you to remember: he is not the only one. There are millions of men over 60 who start their mornings the same way: coffee first, food later, or sometimes nothing at all. They tell themselves, "It doesn't matter. I'm fine." But deep down, they feel the fatigue, the fog, the uncertainty creeping in. You are not alone in this. Every man who has sat across from me, every patient who has shared his story, carried the same thought at first: I'm the only one struggling like this. And every time, I remind them, no, you're not. This is a pattern, and patterns can be changed. That's why I love seeing men share their experiences. When one man says, "I tried eating within 30 minutes, and I felt sharper," another man listens and thinks, maybe I should try that too. That ripple effect matters. So here's my invitation to you: tomorrow morning, give your brain the gift of fuel within that first half hour. Notice how you feel. Then share it, tell your family, tell a friend, or even write it in the comments below this video. Your words could be the spark that helps another man choose differently. Because this isn't just about breakfast. It's about building a brotherhood of men who refuse to let age steal their clarity. It's about reminding each other that even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, we still have control, we still have choices, and we still have mornings worth living fully. And when you see your mornings shift, you'll realize something powerful, something that can change the way you see yourself every single day. So let's bring this together. Your mornings don't have to start in a fog. They don't have to be drained by coffee alone or weakened by skipping the fuel your body is crying out for. Within the first 30 minutes of waking, you have the power to set your entire day on a new path. It doesn't take a complicated plan. It doesn't take a miracle diet. It takes a small, deliberate act: choosing the right fuel. A bowl of oats with berries. A cup of Greek yogurt with walnuts. A banana with peanut butter. Just enough to steady your blood sugar, awaken your neurons, and give your heart a rhythm it can trust. And remember this: you are not broken. You are not too old. Your body is not failing you, it's waiting for the right signal. That first morning meal is not just food. It's the key that restarts the engine. It's the spark of renewal. If you've been struggling with fatigue, with focus, with mornings that feel heavier than they should, know this: you still have a choice. Tomorrow morning, within those first 30 minutes, give your brain what it needs. Watch how the day feels different. And then do it again, the next day, and the next. And I invite you to share your experience. Tell me in the comments what you chose, and how it made you feel. Because when you share, you don't just change your mornings, you help another man see what's possible for his. Together, we can prove that life after 60 is not decline, it's renewal. And it begins with the very first decision you make each day.